can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do, lace up the shoes, chase W. W's, yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Time to bring the bass bird.
Sir, I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Put both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool it down, let it simmer.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in a very rainy Kansas City, Missouri at venerable Arrowhead Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they, too, were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They go play action. Bridgewater. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
To throw, Bridgewater. And the pressure gets to him again. Uchenna Nwosu in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Mahomes going to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Under 10. Attack! Hey, Ripple is. Switch it. Yellow. Switch it.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and
6-0 our score after 1.
And we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Shift. Watch my back.
On 2nd and 12. Mahomes binds, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Randy Gregory. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Now Mahomes forced out to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Dietrich Wise Jr. providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
12 yards on the return that time. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best run.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute with it.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Well, now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They run. Devontae Freeman. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Bridgewater. Over the middle, complete. It's Jordan. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Slam, slam, slam. 36.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Myles Jack with a sack.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker, has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
He's mine.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long, thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Here we go, 4th down, Mahomes. Gets this one to Hill. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, 57. Yellow. Check out route. Yellow. Nice 7, let's go. Take it.
Mahomes now to throw. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it, and this is taken in at the 5. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 33 yards that time. And that's now 2 big catches on this drive for him.
You know, the NFL keeps talking about the possibility.
We play to win. Let's go.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the...
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Phillip Lindsay, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. So wake up. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here are the Chiefs to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Second half starts with a run by Lindsey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career. They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. He's got the first down and more past midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Begin. Check.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now here's Mahomes. Dancing to his left. He's going to run. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Uchenna Nwosu. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Joe Schobert in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line.
Another run by Lindsey. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3-and-out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit, too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Play.
Mahomes now on first down. Flush to his right. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Check. Hero 15. Crash. Motion.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
We're going to keep getting set.
We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4.
Tight right. 4 down. Check. 4 down. Yellow. Tight guard. Switch.
Hey, 57. 15.
Delta. Let's go, Mike 50.
Here's Mahomes to throw. That one complete to him. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Flushed out right. And it's complete to Kelsey. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 21 yards there on 3rd down. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Josh Allen in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. Mahomes firing complete, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 11th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
Butker on for the PAT. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Bridgewater. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars get a score closer. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wondered that.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Phillip Lindsay, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go. Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. when you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
4 yards on that last completion, so that's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there for sack number 22 on the year, and folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to go down again. Frank Clark, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132.5. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget Paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game. I'm going to break it. And you love that they have.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Mahomes going to throw it here. They'll roll him out right. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
After the sack on first down, Mahomes, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week? And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. One last shot now for Bridgewater. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory.
whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on.